Hi all. Happy Monday. This evening we will be going live with NCAA Athletics at Cal Poly, so our D1 division of our sports here. So I'm going to wait until the account joins and then we will go live with them. We have representatives, so if you're interested in anything about sports at Cal Poly, whether you want to get involved in them or whether you want to go and watch them, specifically at the D1 level, then this is going to be the live for you. So I'm going to have them request to join CP Mustangs. There we go. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I just was kind of talking about what we're going to be talking about this evening. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Jason Namney. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director of Marketing and Fan Experience for Cal Poly Athletics. I'm originally from Bay Area. I went to school here. I'm an alum as well. I graduated in 2009. I've been back here at Cal Poly for the last about 6 years. So, yeah.
Right. My name is Olivia Jones, pronouns she, her, hers, and I'm a fourth-year communications studies major, and I am a poly rep, the university ambassadors at Cal Poly. So we are the tour guides and we kind of represent, Cal Poly students. And I also work for admissions. So I work in the Welcome Center and I do these every Monday to highlight a different resource on campus. Also, apologies in advance. I do have kind of a cold. So if I start coughing, that is why. So to start things off, do you want to just kind of give an overview of athletics at Cal Poly in general and kind of how things are divided up?
Yeah, for sure. So Cal Poly, we have 21 NCAA Division I sports. So Division I, if you know anything about college athletics, is the highest level of college athletics. So all of our teams compete at that level. We have a wide variety of sports, both men's and women's, pretty much anything you can think of we have. For the sports that we don't have Division I, there are club teams and intramural teams which are a little bit different and don't fall under our office, but we can talk about those a little bit if people have questions. But yeah, we play over 170 games that are played at home each year on campus, so lots of opportunities for students to go watch and support their fellow Mustangs. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So obviously you work at the D1 NCAA division, and just to kind of clear up any confusion, we also have our club sports. So that's a slightly lower level of, commitment. You're not recruited out of high school or anything like that. You oftentimes try out to be on a team, and you can do it for, a quarter at a time if you want to, or every quarter, depending on how busy your class schedule is. So that's going to be still traveling in general. They kind of vary in levels of competition. And then we have our intramural team. So that is completely for fun. If you have never tried a sport before, but if you want to give it a go with some friends in college, then intramural level is for you. But today specifically, we are talking about at the D1 level. Just because we might get a few questions, all the other different things. I wanted to clear that up ahead of time. So does each sport at Cal Poly play in a different kind of division or conference? Or what exactly does that look like for our teams?
Yeah, so like I said, we have 21 teams and we basically are in, I guess, technically 4 different conferences. The primary conference we're in is the Big West, which is almost all of our sports. Football is in the Big Sky. Our wrestling team is in the Pac-12. And then our swimming and diving is in something called the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, which is kind of a smaller conference for swimming, because a lot of schools on this side of the country do not have swimming, so it's kind of a catch-all for all the West Coast teams that are not in a conference that has swimming. So those are basically the 4 conferences we're in. They're all Division I, like I said, but primarily the Big West is where we play most of our games. So.
Awesome. And would you say that sports are like a big deal at Cal Poly in general? Like, what kind of sort of vibe do you think sports have at Cal Poly?
Yeah, I mean, generally, I think Cal Poly is thought of as an academic institution, a great, academic school, which it obviously is. And sometimes the athletics get overlooked a little bit. But like I said, we're all of our sports are Division 1, so they're playing at the highest level. So our teams are playing Stanford, UCLA, USC. We're playing these teams that maybe when you initially think of college athletics, you might think of some of those bigger schools. Our teams are playing at that same level as them. We're playing against them often and competing with them and beating them at times. So I think it is a pretty big deal, and there are certain games that usually stand out for students. UCSB men's soccer, Hawaii for volleyball. There's usually a couple big football games each year, Mustang Family Weekend. There's definitely some games that really jump out and are the most popular ones that we see the most student attendance at. But honestly, every game you go to here at Cal Poly, you have a chance to be watching future professional athletes playing at the highest level of college athletics. So it is a pretty big deal, and it is a pretty cool opportunity for students to see some of those athletes in action and their fellow students, their peers, playing at that level. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, people don't realize that they'll be living in the dorms with fellow athletes and they'll be getting to know them as friends. So going to support them is super fun. I definitely have seen a lot of games. I've been to basketball, baseball, women's beach volleyball is super fun. There's obviously, so students get into free to all games. That's correct, right?
Yep, students get into every game for free. Just have to show your student ID. For the ones that normally require a ticket, just show your student ID to get free admission to any of those games. So it's definitely a great perk as a student. If anytime you want to go, especially if you're living on campus, looking for some free entertainment on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever, you can just walk down from the dorms and go check out a game at Mod or Spanos or one of our facilities. So.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes they have fun things that they're giving out for free. I mean, recently they were giving out these cool 90s basketball jerseys for the first couple hundred people that showed up. They'll have giveaways. So I think it's definitely a fun thing to do on just a random night with some of your friends.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we try and do the giveaways, some theme nights sometimes, and make it a whole experience, and maybe throw out some free food and things like that for all the college students looking for something to eat, not wanting to spend money or whatever. But we try and make it a whole atmosphere no matter what the game is. So.
Yeah, definitely. And is there a way for people to get involved in athletics, sort of beyond being watching the games? Like, what kind of things people can get involved in?
Yeah, so it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Like, I know we get a lot of people inquiring, especially during slow days and WOW, like, well, how do I get onto a team? How do I try out for a team? That's really a team-by-team basis thing, where if you're looking to play and you really think you're at the ability level to maybe play, I would just really encourage you to reach out to the coaching staff for that particular sport, contact them and ask about a tryout. If you're just a student who loves sports and wants to go to a bunch of games, you can go to as many games as you want, obviously. And then we have our student fan club, which is called Stang Gang. But we actually are transitioning. It's kind of in the process. This is kind of new. But next year, we're going to have a program. It's through FanMaker. The name is still up in the air, but it's basically going to be integrated into our app, and students can go to games and check in at games and earn rewards, points and rewards for going to games and special giveaways and things like that. So that'll be all through our app. So that's a good way if you're a diehard fan that wants to go to a lot of games or just a certain sport. You can go to all those games and earn points and win rewards as a result of supporting our teams. And then for the people that are maybe they want to work in sports someday, or maybe you just want to be around it even more, earn some money on the side, or just get experience for a future job. There are internships. My department has an internship program where we have about 12 to 14 interns every year that work for us and helping us put on games and do music and video board and run the promotions, help with giveaways, all those kind of things. And then there's other jobs within event staff. You could be part of the event crew that works games and help with setup and takedown and taking tickets and being ushers and things like that. And there's more niche areas, like if you maybe get into sports medicine, want to be an athletic trainer, you could maybe intern with the athletic training department. So there's a wide variety of things, and there are internships as well as paid opportunities within the department to get involved. So.
Yeah, tons of opportunities. I have a couple of friends that have, worked for the football team and done sort of the social media, marketing side there. Like you said, whatever you're interested in, there's probably a route you can take within one athletics. So definitely a cool example. Do you want to talk about the app more and what kind of things people can use the app for?
Yeah, the app, it's, if you go into the App Store and look up Cal Poly Athletics, it'll pop up. It's a great app, a great way to follow our teams, whether they're at home or on the road. There's schedules, there's rosters, there's links for any games that are going on to watch a video live in the app or listen to games, follow stats, that kind of thing. I'm really encouraging all students to download it if they don't have it yet, because, well, I talked about earlier, you're just going to show your student ID card. Well, we're also transitioning ticketing systems, and sometime probably in the next school year, tickets are going to be directly through that app. So you'll be getting your student ticket through that app, not through your ID. So you'll basically just, get your free ticket and show a QR code at the gate for your student ticket to get into the game. So if you have any intention of going to games, or even if you just want to follow our teams, I really encourage you to get that Cal Poly Athletics app. And you can customize it too. So you can get, if you only care about beach volleyball, you can set up the app so you're only getting notifications, only following beach volleyball and tracking all their news and social and those kind of things. If you want everything, you can have everything. You can basically make it however you want, so it fits what you like and what you want to follow. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know about that. So I think to kind of have people download that, because it's going to be a lot easier to find everything just in one place, and obviously to be able to get into games.
Yeah.
So we have a few questions that have come up. Is there still a bowling team? Do you want to answer that? I don't know for sure.
There's not an NCAA bowling team, so not one that falls under our oversight. I don't know if there is a club bowling team or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about club bowling team, but there is a bowling club, I believe, and then you can take the ball class, so it's a 1-unit sort of elective class that you can take. So if you're interested in having room for that in your schedule, and then you can also just go to Mustang Lane. So if you want to get a few people together and go bowl there, then it's definitely accessible for students on campus. If my son wants to try to make the baseball freshman team, what process should he follow?
My suggestion, what I kind of said earlier, is if you go to our website, which is gopoly.com, and there's a staff directory there, look up the coaches on the staff directory for your particular sport that you're interested in trying out for, and I would reach out to them as early as possible. I can't guarantee on their response rates or when they're going to get back to you, but they'll usually respond and set up a time. Each team usually has a walk-on tryout time that they accept walk-on tryouts. It's not very common, if I'm being honest, that walk-ons make any of our Division I teams, but it doesn't mean you can't try and you can't reach out and start that process to at least have an opportunity. So
yeah, definitely. That kind of goes into the next question. Someone asked, can you walk on to D1 teams?
You can. It's certainly not impossible, and it definitely depends on the sport. Some of our sports take more walk-ons than others, but generally speaking, because we're at the Division I level, most of our teams are fully recruited. They're either on scholarship or they're recruited to come to the team. Even if they're a walk-on without getting a scholarship, we're recruited to come here and play. So there's not often a lot of walk-ons, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It absolutely does. We have a guy on the Division I baseball team right now. He's one of our better relief pitchers. He started out on the Cal Poly club baseball team, and then talked to our coaches, got a look, tried out, made it, and he's done great for us this year. So it definitely does happen. It's just, I definitely don't want to get anybody's hopes up or lead you on thinking, oh yeah, if you play baseball or whatever sport, you're going to make the team as a walk-on. It's very uncommon. But
yeah, I've seen him play. He's great. But yeah, like you said, it's case-by-case basis. This question is kind of for me. Any news as to a closer time frame as to whether transfers that are waitlisted on when they may get in? So whether you're a transfer or a incoming freshman that has been on the wait list, you will hear by July 15th. So you'll be alerted of your status either before or on July 15th of whether you've got into Cal Poly or not. Okay. What else do we have? How do you ask to do a walk-on tryout for a sport, and if you make the team, what are the next steps? So I'm assuming that kind of goes in the specific, depends on what team you're interested in, using the contact list online, right?
Yeah, it depends sport by sport. When they do those and how they do those is really up to each team. I'd say the first step really is just reaching out to the coaching staffs. And I mean, you can try the head coaches, but I honestly would suggest you probably start with one of the assistants. And they're more likely to be the ones responsive to those recruiting type questions and tryout questions, and just kind of go through their process however they run it for their particular team.
Awesome. What social media accounts should people follow if they want to kind of stay up to date? Is the one using probably the best one?
Yeah, this is probably the best one. It's our general team account, our general athletics department account. We have updates on pretty much everything big that's going on. You'll see updates through this account. We have a Twitter and Facebook for pretty much all of our sports, as well as Instagram for pretty much all of our sports. So again, if there's a particular sport you're interested in, you can follow just that sport on IG or Twitter or whatever. If you're not sure, you can't find it, you can go to gopoly.com, and there's like a fan zone drop down tab, and then there's a social media directory list there, and you can find every social media account for all of our teams. So again, if you're a volleyball fan, you just want to follow volleyball, you can find that on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're at, and follow just them and get updates on their teams. Our team pages are a lot more specific on upcoming games or promotions or those kind of things, whereas this account is much more general, what's happening and successes of our teams. So
it's definitely useful to look on the website, and yeah, if you have any interest, following their social media accounts. What sport is the most fun to watch in your opinion?
That's a hard question for me to answer, and people out there watching are going to think I'm biased against some teams. But me personally, when I was a student at Cal Poly, one of my favorite events to go to was actually volleyball. Just because it's a very fast-paced sport, it's very exciting, it's really fun in mock, it's very loud in there, and a benefit too is our volleyball team is very good and has been very good for many, many years. So it's always fun to watch a winner like that. But volleyball is really exciting. Have a lot of fun doing that. But I love football. I love baseball too. I'm a baseball guy at heart, first and foremost. So if you put me in a corner and said I had to pick one, I'd probably pick baseball just because that's my preferred sport. But there's a lot of fun here. I know you mentioned beach volleyball earlier, and that has become one of the most enjoyable things to watch here, because again, we have a top 10 program in the country every year, and they have that brand new complex right out back behind my office here in Mott, and it's a great venue to watch a game. It's a really cool atmosphere, unlike really anything in the country, the amount of people that come out and watch those events. So that's really fun too. So
yeah, definitely, I agree. Well, if you don't have anything else, do you have any sort of advice for students that are interested in getting involved in athletics, or any last things about Cal Poly D1 sports that you want to mention?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would just say, I really encourage you guys to go to games, because it's not just about like, oh, you're going to a sporting team. Like I said earlier, you're supporting your peers, your fellow students. Like these athletes are going to class with you and living in the same dorms as you, and they're going through the same things you are, and they're out there representing you in your school on the playing field against other schools. And I think it's great to support them as much as you can. And I think it's part of the college experience, in my opinion. My college experience wouldn't be the same without all the games I went to. A lot of my memories are looking back at games I went to, not necessarily because of the results of the games, but because I went with a group of friends and we had a good time watching a fun game on campus and rooting for our school and building that school pride. So I think it's a great opportunity. It's free, like we said, so it's not like there's any cost preventing you from going. It's really just a choice to go, and there's always games going on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. So if you're looking for something to do, it's a great way to build that school pride, maybe have a good time with some friends, and support your fellow students. So.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. So this video will be available to watch on our admissions YouTube channel as well as on our Instagram page. So if you missed anything that we talked about or you want to refer back to anything we said, feel free to check it out on there. And next week we will be partnering with the Disability Resource Centre. So if you have any questions about accommodations you can get at Cal Poly, then definitely check that out. And I really appreciate you coming on tonight. And like you said, what was the link that people can go to for more information?
GoPoly.com.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining, and if you have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey there, my name's Rafael. I'm a fourth-year journalism transfer student with a minor in Spanish, and my pronouns are he, him, his. Thank you for watching the video. Please share any questions or comments you have down below in the comment section. Click here to subscribe, and to watch more videos, click here. If you want to sign up for a campus visit, we're offering in-person and virtual options, so check out our website. Link in the description. Thank you for watching.